Peace and blessings, beloveds. Here be I, Astarius Miraculi, and today's subject is feel to therefore heal. Feel to therefore heal. It's so important that we own the resonance of who we are as feeling beings. We live in a society that tends to train us away from feeling. Someone starts to cry and the average one says, "Don't cry." The pretense, "I care about you, don't cry." But often they're saying, "You're making me very uncomfortable. Would you please stop crying?" To feel is to set the tone in order to heal. To feel is to be at resonance with the root of being. Feeling is experiential. Feeling is at one with being. Feeling is our access code to Creator Source. We experience God, Goddess Almighty through the resonance of our feeling. So I'm going to offer forth now a overtone. This vocal overtone is for the purpose of utilizing the exaltation of our feeling nature in order to transcend all of the lower vibrational feelings that are blocking the way to our ascension. So this sonic resonance is a feeling ascension code activation tone. Be of your sacred intentionality for whatever it is that you're wanting to create within your life on the wings of this overtone. We invite you, Creator Source, and the entire ascended host. And we send now this tone, this overtone, specifically into the root chakra being associated with the foundation of our life, the groundedness of our life, our methodology, our systemization, our timing, our structure, our planning, our manifestations. This is to the root chakra. Divine Creator, we accept this clearing within the region of our root chakra for the up-leveling of our methodology, the up-leveling of our planning, our structure, our systemization, our grounding, our groundedness, and our power to make manifest our highest dreams, visions, and intentions. And now, Creator Source, we send forth a vocal overtone for the activation of the Sacral Chakra, the second chakra, for the acceleration of the frequency of creation and the balancing of all negative energies associated with sexuality, for a clear understanding of the synergy between sexuality and creation, and that the same energy that makes babies and brings erotic pleasures, the same energy that manifests a car, a house, a business, or any dream and intention that we have. This tone is for and to the Sacral Chakra. We thank you, Divine Creator, for clearing the Sacral Chakra, for bringing us into the up-leveled expression of our thrust of creation and the up-leveling of our faith and confidence that we can create and bring about the manifestation of our heart's desire, and that our heart's desire is already fulfilled in the domain of the formless embryo that is in the womb of creation. We are grateful for the balancing of this Sacral Chakra, the second chakra, and we now move energy into the Solar Plexus, which is that place where we feel so deeply. It is also at resonance with the sun, hence Solar Plexus represents a place of a storehouse of energy. And we send forth this overtone to balance any and all unhealthy feelings. be covering the rest of the chakras, but I want to say a couple things before we move on into the heart and the throat and the brow and the crown. Own your feelings, own your core. For the things I know by what I think are partly good and they partly stink. Not a bad start, but partly sealed. Truth of the head is half revealed. What was the bid when I was a little kid? If I want to be smart, then learn it by heart. What a dread when I learned it by head, for in all my learning I woke up dead. How can my truth be alive and real unless it's truth that I can feel? Down the highway of ignorance and strife, mere thinking was at the wheel of my life. Intellect was wheeling and dealing, but now I'm chauffeured by my feeling. I don't mind showing what's inside, we all are one, why should I hide? When I do, for me I steal, for I can't heal what I won't reveal, and I can't heal what I'm unwilling to feel. So life, mother of all good things, thanks for the wisdom feeling brings. In feeling there is nothing new except that which I always knew. From stinking thinking to revealing healing, let's all open up and have a healing. That which is necessary, that which is necessary shall be. There is no escape from the fulfillment of necessity. To make a vain attempt will find one in the spider web of cyclicity. Around and around a constant revolution, not learning the lesson or receiving the message that would afford one a divine solution. But as for every experience, yours or mine, we are the creators of necessity in thought and word and deed, you see. Never an element of chance, not for you or for me, because we project the causes, the effects become necessary. We create action, circumstance, and destiny. And now we know exactly what to expect through the universal law of cause and effect. But during the times when something negative would happen to us, our burden seemed so heavy, and oh, how unjust. We cursed and cried, how could this happen to us? But the seeming negative thing was a lesson and a message too that could be highly beneficial to me and to you. The lesson and the message were like a door-marked pool, but our head was so hard and we were as stubborn as a bull, for there we were pushing on a door-marked pool. What are we doing? No wonder all the strife. Let us pass through the door of experience, and it will serve us in life. So we open up the door, we stand tall, and we face it. Our cup is somewhat bitter, but we receptively embrace it. It's a very wise decision, for we cannot escape it. Yes, this effect was reaped from a cause we did sow, and now is simply the time to pay the debt that we owe. So with calm assurance we now walk through the door to be tormented by this experience no more. For the lesson we have learned and the message we did hear it, oh how it expanded our mind and quickened our spirit. Yes, that circumstance was no element of chance. We were only receiving our own, and that's why we embraced it. Behold the things of greater brilliance on the other side of the door that now dutifully and gracefully fulfill and replace it. To think we foolishly thought it was a disadvantage. What a blessing to realize that every seeming negative thing must always have an equal positive advantage. And now that all negative thoughts have been divinely released, our countenance is filled with that heavenly peace, a peace firm in the supreme spirit of eternal standing. I mean that unshakable peace that passeth understanding. And now, whatever our fate, let us not be disturbed. It did not happen to hurt us, but to humbly serve. Despite the seeming pain and apparent distress, all situations are to uplift our consciousness. And now we deny the influence of anything distressing, for there is a lesson that is teaching and a message wisely expressing to please study us closely, for we are really a blessing. And now the knowledge has been bestowed upon you and upon me that whatever comes into being is born of necessity. No more will we be caught in the web of cyclicity. We're now empowered by the dance of cause and effect, the universal law of necessity. And so we choose to feel in order to heal. We are feeling the vibrations of our life. We allow ourselves to feel everything, not from the premise of being stuck in negative feelings, but in order to pierce to the central core of the feeling. No matter how painful the feeling might be, at the central core of that feeling is pure love and pure light, pure wisdom and pure power. The center is uncontaminatable. You cannot contaminate the center. Even if the feeling is one of pain, go to the center of the pain, you find the light. Go to the center of the worry, you find the light. Light owns the center of everything. And so we go to the center where dwells the light. That place which is the I and the I am of the storm. We elevate in the wisdom and the knowingness that pain is an angel in distress. And we free the distressed angel. We allow ourselves now to feel the resonance of our ascended master self. Who we are as an angle of the being of God. An angel is an angle of God's being. And in the manner of sacred speaking, we are all angles of God, angels of the Most High, come down into physical incarnation. Remember the ascended reality of who you are from the realms on high, from the realms on high. And see what is needed, that your prayer will be heeded. See it as though you've already succeeded. Have faith in advance, so good is left not up to chance. For if faith be post-dated, then your blessings are belated. And when you're good, you detain. The whole world bears the strain. Invoke the spirit of fire. Purge the enemy of your desire. Make the wise decision to maximize your vision. We now send forth this tone to the heart chakra, that central core place that is the residence of our inner divinity. Our inner divinity lives within the central core of the heart chakra. And with this overtone, we activate, clear, and expand the heart chakra. And to the throat chakra. To the first eye, the brow chakra. And to the crown chakra. Thank you, Divine Creator, for opening our chakras and for bringing us to the creme de la creme of true being. That we remember who we are. We remember that we are descendants from the Most High, and we bring this exalted frequency into this earthly domain wherein we are incarnated. We thank you. We thank you. We thank you. If you've just logged in or just tuned in, this is Ascension Live. I am Astarius Miraculi, and the subject is Feel to Therefore Heal. I'm live streaming simultaneously from YouTube and Facebook. Once again, I don't see my people. I see that I am live on Facebook, but I don't see any beings in the chat. And I do see I've got some beings there. But that's just the nature of technology. So I'm going to do some responding to questions or comments and a little bit of interaction. So put your at least I can see some of the chat here on YouTube. Okay, my life has changed so much. Come back. My life has changed so much for the better. I do the Ascension every day for the last 5 years. That's beautiful. Yeah, I'm having such an interesting experience with this technology. My chats pop up and disappear. Oh, the creme de la creme of our being. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You're so welcome, beloved, and it is an honor to serve you. Let's see. Okay, scrolling. Crown chakra activated, bright white, love and light. Light. Peace, peace, brother. Let's see what else we can see here. Okay, how can we more effectively bridge the other dimensions and realms into this reality? Well, bridging ourselves with the other dimensions is really quite an easy experience when we recognize the fact that we are the microcosm of everything that exists within the great macrocosm. We are the microcosm of the all dimensionality of life and being. So when we want to create that bridge between where we are here in this third dimensional reality and in these third dimensional bodies, but they do carry some of the resonance of fourth density, fifth density, and beyond, depending upon the consciousness that we are in. But the bridging has to do with, first and foremost, recognizing that all of the other dimensions exist here within the central core of our being. That you are a biological and living library containing the knowledge of all things, containing every experience that is, was, or ever will be, containing the resonance of every being that is, was, or ever will be, as well as that entire soul adventure of that being. So the bridging has to do with an allowing, just recognizing in the allowing that it's all in here, and being in celebration of it. And when we see others that have made that connection in maybe a more exalted way that we are yet aspiring to, then we proclaim our oneness with that being. And we join that being or those beings in the feeling frequency of that elevated awareness, in the feeling frequency of that consciousness. Because we are every being and every being is us. But we must proclaim our oneness with that to initiate the soul jumpstart within our own individual being. Let's see what else we can see. I'm calling the chat back. Come on back. That's funny. Okay. Okay, so when you were on the root chakra, my body started rocking back and forth, and I came into I appreciate your patience, beloveds, regarding this technology. But okay, and I came back into a silent, restful state. Okay, Dr. Ann Wellman told me about you long ago. Happy to find you, and blessings. Yeah, sometimes when we are in the resonance of this energy, the body can go into a kind of a trance. I know my body, many times will rock, and a lot of times the rocking is having nothing whatsoever to do with what I am consciously initiating. It's just a rocking. It's kind of like a rocking trance that begins to happen within the body. When energy is moving, it's like the body, is being rocked like a baby. The consciousness has taken the body and taken the soul into its arms and is rocking us like a baby. So that's wonderful that you get rocked like a baby. So I want to bring in some didgeridoo a little bit early on here. So let me just do that here while I'm playing the didgeridoo. Focus upon your highest prayers and life intentions. Thank you, beloveds, for coming home to yourself. Thank you for remembering that you are sacred, remembering that you're divine, remembering that you are forever and forever who you are, unfolding down the corridors of forever, an amazing being that will never cease to be. Thank you for that awareness, for that knowingness. Thank you for loving on yourself. Thank you for allowing every cell within your being to say, I love myself with all my heart. Eternal knowing, God impart. No more hatred, no more pain. Legacy of heaven, mine to claim. Once I really hated me, a self-induced catastrophe, and others began to hate me too. Hate's reflection became my due. When I look in any mirror, each reflection is my own. If I dislike that which I am, rejection by others will be shown. In self-acceptance, let me grow to hereby let all others know. I want them to accept me too. They only follow what I do. I ask myself to marry me, to thus fulfill my destiny. I promise always to be true, self-love and honor I am due. Sweet self, I'm sorry for the pain, forgive and love me once again. I want me for eternity, a better lover than to be. Now every bond is sweeter too, for loving me is loving you. Within the temple of heaven's house, I do take me to be my spouse. Within the temple of heaven's house, you do take you to be your spouse. So honoring feelings is also about marrying self, forming the sacred marriage between the human self and the ascended self, to allow the emergence of the inner divinity emerging from deep inside. All of the things that I've recited are selections from my book, Miraculous, Song of Ascension. It's available through my website, astarius.com. And I'm also available for intuitive astrological readings as well as sound healing transmissions with didgeridoo and vocal harmonics. I practice and teach Reiki. Also have a donation button on my website, and also receive donations through Cash App and PayPal and Venmo and Zelle. And I thank all of you that have been generous and gracious in offering donations of appreciation for the work that I share. Thank you so much for that. And thank you in advance for those who will have the presence of mind and heart to offer donations and also to partake of my creations, which is 24 music albums now and a couple of books. So thank you for co-creating with me on this day. I'm moving toward the completion here. I don't see anything in the chat. I'm going to tap my screen. Maybe something will pop up. Okay, let me scroll back and see if there's because I see a lot of people have been having a lot to say. Thank you, Master Teacher. You're welcome, Master Teacher. We all are the Master Teacher. Yes, we are. Because God dwells within the central core of our being. Okay, I am opening to receive this healing. Thank you so very much. You're welcome. Infinite love and light to you. Okay, been following this man for years and happy to still be doing so. Thank you, beloved. I received that. Too cool, man. I pray that often, however, seeing the depth of the disease is challenging. We are facing mass genocide. Okay. Well, one thing about this mass genocide that you speak of, we can lay a body down, but we can never really die because we are the essence of Creator Source. And by virtue of our oneness with Creator Source, every single one of us will unfold down the corridors of forever. We will lay down many, many bodies, because the body has a shelf life. The body has an expiration date. But the consciousness, the spirit, the soul essence, the true beingness that we are, that animates and gives life to the body, never ceases to be. Even though there are dark forces that may be attempting to engage in genocide and killing off many, many beings from the planet, that becomes a part of the human journey. And also it's a part of our collective co-creation. It's hard to swallow, but everything that is taking place on the planet is a co-creation of every one of us who are here on the planet. We all have some measure of a co-creative hand in it. And we're not talking about blame, we're talking about responsibility. So we'll get through all of it. And there's nothing that will overcome the reality of our eternal continuity of existence, because we are forever. And there is nothing that can take that away from us. And that's a wonderful thing. I have so much gratitude for that truth. And know the things that we're going through in the world is no easy thing. It's very challenging, and sometimes it's very fearful. It's scary and all of that for some of us. And yet we have the power to wake up and remember our divine courage and come back home to the eternal reality of who we are in the true grandeur of our spiritual being. I am Astarius Miraculi. I love you so much. I thank you for co-creating with me. And I'll be back again next Tuesday for Ascension Live at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, streaming from Facebook and from YouTube. Sweet love and light to you, and fly well on the wings of ascension, on the wings of the all that is. Fly well, fly well, fly well.